Because Igbo man is not after anybody that is ruling in Nigeria. Igbo man is not after anybody that will become president of Nigeria. Igbo man is not looking towards Nigeria of 2027 election. All that Igbo man knows about is Biafra. To go home and organize his house, put his house in order. It is obvious that we have tried our best from 1970 till date, which is 55 years. Nigeria could not allow us to join the game. The political chorus, dancing by the floor, and the Hausa and the Yorubas, they neglected us and what? Put us outside. That's why all we are thinking now is going home. Using Nnamdi Kanu to release to play political game is too late. Court has actually exonerated him and is free. So if anybody thinks that he's going to use him to win election in the southeast, that person is suffering from ignorance of law, lack of knowledge of law, poor knowledge of law. So what happened is that what the judiciary department says stands. They are the one that review, study, and interpret Nigerian constitution as one of their functionalities. So it is nothing to do with political games of 2027 presidential election. And let me say, abetting kidnapping of Nnamdi Kanu, has violated international charter and the United Nations law. It is obvious that Nigeria and Kenya does not enjoy that kind of treaty of, extradition. But even if they do at all, they should have at least imbibed by the process, by due process. What do I mean? Doing it through due or normal or legal process. The way Amana Nnamdi Kanu was extraordinarily rendition from Nairobi, Kenya to Nigeria has violated international law, is international rights, fundamental rights, I don't know what I understand, and constitutional rights. So that's why what is that his name? Lord Lumumba, a barrister, well-known legal luminary from Kenya, took it up by himself. And we actually observed what happened yesterday as another victory streak, victory obsession for the same MNK, the most charismatic leader Igbo nation has ever had, followed by Mazi Simon Ekpa. It was a winning streak here last week when it was obvious that the federal government of Nigeria has closed its case, vindicating and exonerating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. He has no case to answer, according to James, Justice James Omotosho. Then secondly, we've actually applauded the performance of Barrister Lumumba, a Kenyan legal giant, who took it upon himself, slug it out with Kenyan government, and come out with such, let me say, infantile financial incentives. If you ask me, I will tell you that Kenya is supposed to pay in dollars. After all, Nigeria paid big money, paid Kenya huge amount of dollars to abet Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's abduction. Why is Kenya coming out with peanuts to give Mazi Nnamdi Kanu 10 million Kenya shillings? It's not worth MNK. It's not worth bitter ordeal, perility, at least within the premises of what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu went through. I mean the psychological intensity of binding someone with chain, blindfolding him all the way from Southern Africa into Western African region. Nnamdi Kanu has gone through lots and lots of trauma. If you ask me, I would have suggested or advised Kenya to prepare incentives in dollars, not in naira. Nnamdi Kanu has gone through lots and lots of pains over the year when we had an administration that stretched from 2015 to 2023. Illegally arrested Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, accusing him of, treasonable felony. It was obvious that each and every time they slug it out during Buhari administration, Kanu actually, came out victorious. It happened in 2022. It happened in 2023. Kanu came out victorious. The court always gave it to Kanu. I could remember one of his quotes. He said that, look, Nigerians are dying of what? Poor knowledge of law is what Nigerians are suffering from. Nigerians don't have knowledge of law. They don't have what it takes to know their rights and their wrongs. That's why Malami, as an AGF, could not come into the court of law, and tell the judge, the chief presiding judge, chief justice, on how to handle my case. He has no right whatsoever. Malami should sit back in his office and allow the court to take decision. Nnamdi Kanu quoted. So today, dear friends all over the world, we are, rejoicing over Kanu's, victory again in Kenya. But we are of the suggestion or advice that Kenya should retrieve that kind of amount. Our legal team has not spoken. They have not spoken yet. We are waiting for our legal team to at least to take decision and to make decision.
So are you on the page that Nnamdi Kanu will definitely be released before the end of the year?
Yes, I think that is what they are actually doing now. I mean, the prosecution team from of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the defending, legal defense of Nnamdi Kanu, the legal defensive team of Nnamdi Kanu, they are writing to the closure of Kanu's case. And as you can see, Federal Government of Nigeria actually closed their case with Nnamdi Kanu. They don't have any case against him anymore. So everything is working towards its closure. And Kanu will be off the hook.
In terms of, how will I put it, in terms of bargain for the 2027 election, and now you see that even Fubara himself has settled with the president. And what do you have to say? Either he released Nnamdi Kanu by...
There are from many, thoughts, school of thoughts, from many circles and areas. It is believed Tinubu is trying to play political game with his rallies, but we don't see it coming that way. Why? The law, the judiciary, the constitution, United Nations Act, International Act, they said he is free. I mean the law, not Tinubu. Tinubu won't delay Nnamdi Kanu's release. It is what the law says that stands. I don't see Tinubu using him to win 2027 presidential election.
Presidential pardon.
Presidential pardon has nothing to do with what is going on presently. If you presidential pardon as per what? Presidential pardon meaning the department, the organ of government called executive has actually, blocked the roles of the judiciary. Someone that receives presidential pardon is someone that violated the law. It's a common English and understanding. Someone that violated the law. Then now, the Department of Executive has to stand gribam as people that execute the law to forgive the offender or the culpable. But you could see that Nnamdi Kanu is not culpable. He has not offended anybody. So, presidential pardon say or presidential pardon otoro anyolunike. Is it presidential pardon say or is it presidential pardon otoro anyolunike? Kanu is being vindicated. Treasonable felony charges struck out. Terrorist charges struck out. Kanu is obsessed with victory. Obsession of victory is what Kanu and Samonepa has been going through as sickness over some months now.
All right, thank you very much. Thank you so much.